Thank you all so much for the honor and the privilege to join you and talk to you about experiences from my state of Colorado, the first state in America to legalize marijuana completely for sale, promotion, advertising, et cetera. We were the first state to do it. I'm from Colorado. Before I get into it, I want to say I am both half American and half Greek. So one half of me thanks you for political thought, ideas of governance, and art. The other half of me says you're welcome. My Greek people did help a little bit, I think. It is a pleasure to be with you. And what I must tell you is I'm speaking from firsthand experience of being a father. I have two little girls who I'm raising, 6 years old and 2 years old in Colorado. And I have a lovely wife. And I'm seeing the legalization of marijuana experiment play out firsthand as a dad and as a citizen of my community. And it has made my state a much worse place to live. My state is known for beautiful mountains, skiing, beautiful sunny skies. People came to my state all the time for vacation. Now, my state is known for one thing, and that is marijuana. And when I'm on the airplanes and I tell people where I'm from, they say, oh, first state to legalize marijuana. And so now my state is known for this. A friend of mine sent me this picture just the other day of a mother with her baby in a stroller and her toddler waiting outside of a pot shop to buy marijuana just outside of Denver, Colorado. So this is the message that is sent when we legalize marijuana. It becomes normalized, and you have stores. This was in a backpack store to buy backpacks in downtown Denver. I walk in with my wife and my daughters, and we see chocolates that you can take for free by the entrance. So I love chocolate. I go to grab one. My daughter goes to grab one. She was 4 years old at this time. And I'm about to let her eat it when I realize that these are cannabis edibles. And each square has 10 milligrams of THC, the ingredient that gets you high, in each square. And that's being given away for free. And you look at the packaging. It looks like a chocolate bar, a candy bar, clearly appealing to our kids. Something's wrong. These are the pot shops that we see all over our community. In Colorado, we have more than 1,000 pot shops, and we have about 600 McDonald's and Starbucks combined. So a lot of pot shops, way more than McDonald's and Starbucks. And so what does this look like? Kevin mentioned that this industry makes money from addiction. Well, in Colorado, according to our Department of Revenue, 20% of the users of cannabis in Colorado make up more than 70% of the consumption. So heavy, addicted, daily users make money for this industry. It is their vested profit interest that people be addicted. It's not that the CEOs running the companies want everyone to be addicted, but it is because they make more money off of more people using their product. They have no choice. That's their incentive. If we give them a profit incentive with drugs, this is what will happen. So this industry, more than 80%, it was found in a study in Denver, more than 80% of the pot shops, the cannabis stores, recommend marijuana to pregnant mothers for their nausea. They're not doctors, they're not medical professionals, they're bud tenders. People who just are selling marijuana, but they're telling pregnant mothers they can use it for medicine, even though we know from the Journal of Pediatrics and many other public health institutions this is horrible for pregnant mothers. It could hurt the child in the womb. We have a health department in Colorado that issues a report once every 2 years on how it's going with marijuana legalization. These are just some of the findings. We have more than 30,000 homes in my state where children under the age of 14 are exposed to secondhand marijuana smoke, which the American Lung Association, among other health bodies, has found that marijuana smoke is just as carcinogenic and harmful as tobacco smoke is. We have kids that are using now marijuana in unprecedented levels in my state, but they're now vaping and dabbing marijuana. If you don't know what dabbing is, that is the way that youth in America are using marijuana today. It's a new way of taking vaporized, very high potency THC directly to your senses. It's very, very strong high, very addictive. We're seeing a lot of mental health harm come from that. So more people than ever are being hospitalized in Colorado as a result after marijuana legalization for marijuana-related diagnoses like cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, where they're uncontrollably vomiting. A lot of people are dying from that now with regular use of marijuana. And we were called out in our national survey on drug use in America. My state of Colorado was specifically called out because we have the highest rates of monthly marijuana use, daily marijuana use among youth, young adults, as well as co-occurring other substance use disorders and mental illness issues together. So my state has seen a huge increase in these problems since we've legalized. And you have poison control center calls where people take an edible, they don't know what to do, or they have too much THC, they think they're overdosing, they're going psychotic, whatever it might be. They're calling the poison control centers. This is a big issue in my state as well. But probably one of the biggest problems we're seeing is on the roads. The number of people who died from stoned drivers, people high on cannabis in Colorado, doubled after legalizing it. We've seen these numbers continue to increase. It's the #1 substance involved in road deaths in my state of Colorado, cannabis. #1 substance. So much impairment on the roads. And Kevin mentioned the illicit market, the cartels, the organized crime. My state with legal marijuana is shipping illegal marijuana to dozens of other states in America that do not have legalized marijuana. Some of them have legalized marijuana, but it's still being shipped because it's cheaper to purchase. The illicit market, the organized crime, does not have to pay taxes. They will never have to pay taxes. They will always have cheaper products than the legal market will. You will never get rid of the drug dealers. They won't become Kikaro, okay, as much as we wish maybe they would. And the focus of this industry, as he mentioned, is on low-income communities. So here you have everything green. This is the city of Denver. Everything green is where white and upper-class, richer neighborhoods are. Everything yellow and purple is where lower-income communities are, and racial communities. And the dots on the top left are the pot shops. So this industry is targeting the most vulnerable communities directly. So one thing we're told is you're going to make a lot of money off of legalizing marijuana, a lot of tax revenue for your government. That was a myth we were told in Colorado. But we have seen it become to a fraction of a percent of our state's budgeted revenues. So it is pennies on the dollar, as we say in America, very little amount of money that we're making for the cost that we're spending. Think about the hard costs of more people dying on the roads, the hard costs of providing treatment to people addicted to cannabis, the hard costs of dealing with secondhand smoke exposures, and all the other harms of this policy. You're paying money as a society for those things, emergency services, health services. And the numbers just don't add up. And so we've seen a lot of communities, including in my state of Colorado, have opted out. They've said, we don't want legal marijuana in our town. So they've banned stores from being there. So I will wrap up with saying my reason for being here. I said I'm a father. I was walking with my wife, and we had one daughter. She was 10 months old. Shiloh is her name. She was sleeping in her stroller. We're walking her down the street in a lovely neighborhood of Denver, where a lot of young families are, a lot of kids, a lot of playgrounds. Walking down the sidewalk, we're pushing her stroller, she's sleeping in her stroller, and as we're walking, somebody lights a joint, and the smoke from that joint engulfs her stroller, covers her stroller, and she's breathing it in as she's sleeping. My baby is. And my wife turns to me and says, you know, that happens every time we take her for a walk around here, and that should not be. And I turned to her and I said, you're absolutely right. No family should have to be a victim to the use of cannabis and the secondhand smoke and all the other problems that we're seeing in our state. And so I told her I would step up to the plate and bring this story of families and the impact on families and children to the country and now to the world. So I thank you for that opportunity. And the final thing I'll say is this. Luca, you said something about courage. You said that it took courage to walk out your recovery and the courage of the people that influenced you. And I just want to thank you and recognize everyone in recovery who's in this room for the courage that it takes to walk your walk in recovery. I applaud you. And I also applaud the members of government who are here today who have the courage to speak the truth about not only cannabis, but about drugs and the impact on your community, because not everyone's government has that courage. I applaud you all very much, and I thank you. God bless you all.